All right, finally we're on. Pardon us. We had some technical. Well, I had some technical difficulties. Um, but we're
We're
here
here.
now. For anybody that held on, we do appreciate you for holding on. But we're here now, and it's been a long time, Kristen.
Yeah. Yes, it has. And some
Uh,
things have happened. So,
some things have happened.
yeah,
Some
it's a good time
stuff.
to come back. Some good stuff, some just stuff has happened.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Good stuff and some stuff and questions and
Uh,
answers and the like. Well, welcome everybody to Plunk. This is the show where we talk about two teams in one city, the city of Chicago, talking about those White Sox and those Cubs. But how you been, Kristen?
I've been all right. Been all right. Long day, but I'm
Yeah,
here and I'm all right.
that sounds
How
good.
about you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Can't complain. I won't. Nobody wants to hear it anyways. But I'm doing good. I'm here. Um, Not feeling too good, too great about my team right now, but trying to find a positive spin on some of the things that have transpired
Yeah.
in this last, particularly in the last week. Uh, don't want to talk about
The current game.
this 7-0 smacking the White
Eh,
Sox are getting. Uh,
Cubs are losing too.
Dylan Cease, uh, 1 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks,
Mm.
and
Maybe he's mad he didn't get traded.
that's what I'm wondering. Is this like his? Is this his fuck you game to the organization? He just went
Had
out
my
there and
chance to get out. You won't let me
right. He went out there. He's just throwing real live Italian meatballs
out. Yeah.
right over the plate.
Hmm. And
Uh,
people were saying they're keeping him because he's the ace.
well,
I mean, the
there's your.
potential's there. I mean, yeah. This was a rough year for him.
This was, and I think the Sox are hoping. I'm sure they're hoping, and at this point, kind of counting on him to have a bounce back year.
Hmm.
Although I don't know how much good that will do the team as a whole, based on what seems to be the current trajectory of the team. And I was just flanked with some news prior to this broadcast about Liam Hendricks,
Hmm.
um, Tommy John surgery.
Oh, people were afraid of that.
And so he had the Tommy John surgery this morning.
Mm.
And there is a 12 to 14 month recovery period on Tommy John surgery. So we just may have seen Liam pitch his last game for the Sox. Kind of depends on uh, what happens.
How old is he? How old is he? Because yeah, a lot of pitchers come back even stronger after that. But how old is he? His
Yeah,
body's been
he's
through a
not
lot.
young.
Yeah, and his body's been through a lot lately. That's a shame.
T Nick,
Yeah.
what up,
Hello
brother?
there.
Is Kenny protecting his job? I don't know what
He has a
he's
job for
doing.
life.
Him and Rick
He gets another opportunity to
to rebuild.
rebuild.
They're not calling it a rebuild, of course.
If you got rid of all your pitching staff,
Yeah,
what is it?
yeah.
I
What
mean,
up,
there's
Deb?
nothing. He's
Liam's
34. Thank you.
34.
That's our
Our
statisticians
statistician,
stats. She gives
stats
us
and
all our
research
information.
department.
There you go. There you go. That's Deb. Our stats and research. Her team made some moves too. There's a
Let's
lot of
talk about that. Let's talk about we opened up with some bad stuff. quickly flip over. Those are some good things
What?
about the Cubs.
Oh. Well, there is one bad thing, but maybe it explains something. Marcus Stroman going on the IL 15
with the hip
days.
with the
Yeah.
hip injury.
Like, okay. You knew he wasn't right. Like,
Yeah,
you don't go from what he was to just like complete trash.
no,
You know, more than one game.
yeah,
Everyone's gonna have a clunker, but like his have been pretty rough. Not even be able to get off the third inning. You knew something was wrong with him anyway.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you knew something was wrong when even the Sox ran him out
Yes.
of the
Yeah.
third
Was
inning.
it 7 runs on him or something like that?
Yeah, so that
Um,
does explain a lot.
yeah. And he says he's not at all worried about it. So that's good. And hopefully the rest and everything, and he'll come back because they can't do what they're hoping to do without him.
Absolutely,
I mean, Drew Smiley's out the game now, so
absolutely.
but good news, they got a third baseman. They brought someone
Yes,
back, the return of what do they call him, Candy or something like that,
the
whatever it is.
Candyman.
Yeah, the Candy Man. So he's back. So but he played first, so I guess he's gonna switch between first and third. So he'll be filling 2 holes um at
Crazy.
times. And then they got a pitcher for the bullpen. And I think that's it.
But
But they did not give up. Oh, go ahead.
somebody to play first and third was huge.
Yes. And bullpen. They needed something in the bullpen. It would have been nice if they could have gotten first and third, but you can always put Bellinger at first, and Madrigal's
Yep.
back, so he can also play.
And you wanna ride the what's his name? The Talkman wave.
Yeah.
Ride that
Um,
while he's hot
right.
and let
Because
him
he's
play
gonna be
center.
not hot soon.
You know how
Um,
that works.
yes.
You already know what's gonna
I mean,
happen.
where did he played? Where is in Japan or something before here or something
Yeah.
like that? So, and I think he was highly touted at one time, but it's a good thing. You still don't trust Smiley now. I don't know why they went away from the opener for Smiley. They have been doing that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
There was an opener and then they brought him in, and this time he started. And I don't know. I don't know why they went away from it. But you still don't all the way trust Tyone.
Right. Do you think they're trying to test Smiley a little bit, knowing that Stroman is going to be down for a little while?
Maybe. But
He
I wonder who's
failed
going to
the
take
test.
his. Yes, he did. He was going
That's
for
what it
his
was.
10th win. I wonder who's going to take. I know they called someone up, but we'll see. I don't if are they going to bring back that Wazetsky or was whatever his name is that
Wisnet.
I wasn't impressed with. But he got to start a lot before Hendricks came back.
Right.
He didn't really impress me, but I guess he's better than nothing. And they moved PCA to AAA, so he's one step closer.
One step closer.
That he comes. Whatever happens this year, if you re-sign Bellinger and he's willing to be your first baseman full time, then you bring it PCA to play center field,
Which is what we were
yes,
thinking and
yes.
kind of hoping for.
That's what I think needs to happen.
Yeah.
Why go out and spend money on one and just bring the one that's supposed to be very good? Bring him
Yeah.
up.
Bring him up.
So
The Trey Mancini era has ended.
oh yes, that's right. He was DFA. Eric Hosmer first and Trey Mancini next. They were signings that were.
Yeah, they're DFA'd for a
They
reason.
weren't. Yeah. You wonder why they even did it. Honestly, I know they needed a first baseman, but with both of those salaries combined, you might have been able to find someone a little better.
Yeah.
And Trey Mancini probably sealed his fate a little bit. That was it in London, that game where he was just making, just not making good plays.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't hit well. He had a couple of games that he hit well. But if they win tonight, they would be 3 games out of first, then 3 games out of the wild card. So it was positive. I either wanted them to not do anything or buy. So I am happy that Bellinger stayed, and so did Stroman. Um, if they don't re-sign them, then I guess they would get a draft pick, but they have every opportunity to re-sign both of them because they both want to be here. And the Cubs have the money to do it. I think when Stroman's 32, he'll be 33. Can still pitch. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. But in the meantime, they're much more fun to watch. Dansby Swanson is playing like what they envisioned he was playing because, I had questions. I knew he could play defense. I had questions about his offense, but he hit another home run today. So
after hitting 2 last night,
right? And he hit 2 against the Sox. I think that first
he did hit 2.
So
I think he hit a total of 3 that series, that 2-game series.
So he's come to life with power, which is good because you're still not getting it from left or right field. So it's nice that Dansby's hitting with power. Morel is still Morelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all good things right now.
Do we know anything about Candelario's contract situation? Is he a rest of the season rental as of now, or how much time is left?
Let's see if I find it before Deb. Candelario. I might probably spell his name wrong. Yep. What's his first name?
Jameer or Jamer.
Okay, there we go. There he is. And
got my finger on the comment button.
Oh, does she have it?
No, she didn't, but just in case.
Because this isn't giving me what I need. Let me go look someplace else.
Well, in the meantime,
while I look, you could add something else.
Well, he's on a 1 year with the Washington.
Okay.
He was on a 1 year.
I see it now. Now it comes.
Okay, yeah. So he is technically a rental.
Yep. Okay.
Boom.
That's all right, Deb.
She came with it.
Yeah. His adjusted salary with the Cubs is $1.6 million. So, and he doesn't even make that much, $5 million. If it works out and there's not, you want to spend money because, of course, they're, the rumors now, they will be big players in the Ohtani race. So you're going to have to save money somewhere. That might be a place where you save money with him. Unless he comes here and is on fire, then someone else may offer him more money.
He looked pretty good last night.
Yeah. So I think there were a lot of people who wanted him. And it's funny because he started here. He'll be 30 next year. I didn't realize he was that old, but well, we'll see.
So
I think Wisdom's done. This has to be his last year.
Oh, okay. The Patrick Wisdom era will be ending soon.
Yes. And now that they're letting anyone catch Stroman, I'm pretty sure this is Barnhart's last year. Although you also wonder, does he need to start having Barnhart catch him? I know you're putting in Gomes for the offense, but he hasn't done that well with Gomes. But it may have also been his hip, so we'll see.
Where they stand on catching for the future?
Probably
Amaya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like they should bring him up now.
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, he is up.
Yeah, it's all 3 of them. They have
3 catchers on right now. Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, so he's still here. He gets in every once in a while. Did Barnhart play yesterday? But he gets in. He gets in every once in a while. Pinch hit. He starts sometimes. Hendricks likes throwing to him. So he likes him. So I think
He likes him because Hendricks calls his own pitches. He's like,
Yeah, so that's why he like
you
that's why he
shut
like
up and
Wilson.
do what I tell you, kid."
Right. That's why he like Wilson. Like everyone talks about Wilson. He was like, he was great. That's
Right.
because Wilson did what he said.
Yeah.
Um, but they're gonna try to cut corners wherever they can until they figure out how much it's gonna take to get Otani. Then when they find out they're out of the race or they make the move, then they'll start. The problem is if this is one of those free agencies that takes forever, now you've missed out on
Yeah,
everybody.
he has the power to really
Yes. Mess up a team.
screw up free
Yes.
agency
Yes, he does.
if he takes his time
Yep.
on signing.
Because like the teams that know that they're only a few pieces away, but they have no shot with him, now they're going to pick up all the other pieces. So then
Exactly.
once the Cubs find out they can't get Otani, now there's nothing left.
That is a possibility.
Yep.
That's
So
a possibility.
they really need to make sure, or just don't care about going into the luxury tax or whatever the
Right.
tax is called, because they can't afford to miss out on. They need pitching still. They still need fielders. Like they still need a lot. They need the rest of their bullpen arms, because are you really sold on everyone besides Adbert?
Right.
So they're going to wait as long as they have to, as long as they have a chance. But you just hope. I don't know. Is this agent Boris like? Because then it's going to be drawn out.
It's going to be long and drawn out.
I don't know who his agent is, because yep. So out. What about your Sox?
Well, I'm trying to be optimistic. The season is over. It's been over, but it's really over now. Now that we were sellers. They went from having a garbage farm system to now having a pretty decent farm system. So I'll give Rick Hahn credit for that. He turned the farm system around with minimal trades, I felt. He didn't give up a ton.
I think from what everyone said, some of the pieces like they're not people, some of the players that he could or thought about, I think they were asking for too much.
Yes. He was definitely overvaluing certain players. I think including Cease. Like I thought what they got back for Lucas Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez, I think that's the bigger story. I think is Lucas Giolito going over to Anaheim. I'm sorry, they're Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim or whatever. And but they got back some really good prospects.
And a catcher was something they needed, right?
And a catcher that they definitely need. I would be expecting this catcher to be with the team by next month. And Grandal would be DFA'd, or Sevi or somebody like Sevi is. He's, it's time for him to move on. Elvis Andrews, it's time for him to move on.
I forgot he was on the team.
Say again?
I forgot Elvis was on the team.
Yeah, and he's still playing. It's time for him to go. Traded Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly to the Dodgers. We got back Trace Thompson, originally drafted by us in 2009, and a double-A prospect in Nick Nastrini and Jordan Leisure. It's pretty decent prospects. And we got the minor league catcher Corey Lee from Houston to send Kendall Graveman back to Houston. And probably the biggest story, I said Lucas Giolito was the biggest story, but for whatever reason, the bigger story was definitely the trade of Jake Berger to the Marlins for their number 4 prospect, Jake Eater. Left hand pitching prospect, has previously undergone Tommy John surgery. So I hope that whole, like, yeah, he's stronger after Tommy John surgery thing applies here. Um, he's 24. People are yelling about how old he is. Oh, looks like we lost Kristen there. People are saying how old he is, but a lot of that had to do with the Tommy John surgery, and he's just starting to get ramped back up. Yeah, $5 hamburgers in Miami tonight in celebration of Jake Berger making his start with the Miami Marlins at third base. Yes, they got rid of Gio and Lance. It is a somewhat of a strip down, but you still have a Tim Anderson under contract. They still hold on to Eloy. Moncada's still here. Nobody would want that contract right now. It's they're trying not to call it a strip down. Hey, you're back.
My internet keeps going in and out. So
Oh,
sorry. I put it on my phone now, so hopefully the
all
hotspot
good.
lasts.
I just kept talking. Just commenting on the watcher here, commenting about the strip down. They're kind of trying to pull a Cubs and not calling it a rebuild. And Rick Hahn is so full of shit, trying to sell this as, yeah, we can be competitive next year. Like, dude, come on.
You don't have any pictures.
We don't have any pitchers now.
You've lost your closer. You've lost 2 other arms in the bullpen. You've lost 2 starters.
Yeah.
One of the things with the Jake Berger, I think what the shock was because no one ever even heard his name mentioned, like he was even a consideration to be traded. And people said, I can't believe people wanted him and no one wanted Moncada.
I can believe that. Moncada comes with a pretty, because you remember they extended Moncada a couple years ago. So like he comes with a kind of a heavy contract and a bad back.
Yeah, and, that's true. Who wants that?
I spoke with a sports trainer today, actually, and he was talking about his back, and he's like, "Yeah, that thing is gonna stick with him. That issue is gonna stick with him." And we're seeing that. So like, no, he's damaged goods, and he's ours for the duration.
Damaged goods, and he's ours.
And he's our damaged goods for sure. Jake Berger, there was discussion of trading him earlier in the year when he started to heat up.
But I guess like when all the deadline rumors were coming up, like he wasn't one of their names at that point. Yeah.
Eloy was mentioned. Of course, Cease was mentioned. Even TA was floated. But there was no talk about Berger, and that was the move that they pulled. Fan favorite, seems like a good guy, has a really good story. But it was a baseball move. They got like I said, they got Jake Etter in return. So they got a good return. They got a good return for Lucas and Raylo. They got a good return for Jake. Re-strengthen that farm system, and hopefully we'll be ready to compete by 25.
Some are predicting that the pitcher, that Jake, that he'll be in the rotation next year. Ozzy says need to put everybody they got in the just start playing them now. He's like, why even put him in the Why put them in the minor leagues? Just
Absolutely.
you're not going anywhere for a little while, so you might as well let them
Let them
start learning
play.
how to play now. You remember I said that about the Cubs. Like, why are
Yeah.
they now when you bring them up? Now they got to take another year to get used to everything. Just let them
Yeah.
get used to it now. And when we're
Now
ready
when
to compete, they're all good.
they can compete, and they got free money to play with now because they're not playing for anything at this point. They might as well
Exactly.
be playing
Yep.
to develop players that are going to be here.
Mhm.
As
Yep.
the Sox
Yep.
just
Yep.
got another 2 runs scored on them, making it 9
I
to
think the
0.
Cubs tied their game. Sucks. Now they're really like, we thought they gave up in that game against the Cubs. They're like, is it time to go? We still have 60 games or 50 something games left?
Yeah, this team
Folks are going to
not
start
happy.
pulling hamstrings and just going to IL.
Yeah, this team um was going nowhere, and it was time to shake things up. A lot of people still want to see traded. I'm okay with trying to get him to bounce back next year. That's what we're looking at. Um, Sox and my team are like a slow death for the rest of the year. You are right, Deb. The Mets in trouble.
Ooh,
You
they
know,
spent all that money and just started getting rid of people.
they had a gazillion-dollar payroll and paid Verlander to go back to Houston.
And then the day he gets there, the pitcher throws a no-hitter.
Yeah. Well, this is the tale of the 2 teams in Chicago right now. One going upward, one going downward. I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. Um, now we need a closer. We don't have a closer. I mean, we haven't had one all year, really. Been closing by committee all year, so it's like, well, we're really where we've been, and that's unfortunate about Liam. Wish him the best, and hoping he gets back in the game. You know, maybe by end of next year, maybe,
or
big maybe.
Or you hope that he heals enough to maybe be traded.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who wants that.
Yeah.
Damaged goods. Not the cancer part, just the Tommy John.
Yeah. And didn't he say he'd been feeling it for a while?
I mean,
Some
yeah, and
discomfort.
like what was a while? Like you only pitched 6 games,
Yeah,
so it was like
that's true.
Deb, I am sad. You know, I was hoping that there'd be more meaningful baseball from the White Sox this is only August 2nd. You know what I mean? At least last year, uh, we were still in it, although we were never really in it, but there was still hope last year. There was still meaningful baseball, and now there is not. Officially, there is not. And we just got to let the season play out, and going to get a jump on what we're looking like for next year. And I want to see some of those young guys playing. I want to see Linian Sosa back up and Elvis Andrus out the door. He can't hit any worse than Elvis Andrus.
Yeah. It's amazing they didn't DFA him.
Yeah, and I think that's still coming. I think it's still coming. Not sure when. I don't know what they're waiting on, but yeah,
I,
I think they're trying to figure out. I think they're looking at like who other teams are DFAing
mm,
and who they're going to try to pick up. You know, what scraps they might try to pick up from the heap. You know, but it's time for him to go. Yeah,
before this win streak, the Cubs were almost in the same boat.
it's been an up and down season for the Cubs, to say the least. How many more years left on David Ross's contract?
Too many.
Huh? Sounds
Let's
like our
see.
problem. Up to this point, I think he's learning on the job and he's improved along the way,
Hmm.
in my opinion. And we can only hope the same for Pedro Grifol, that he improves along the way and obviously needs to learn on the job and really has his work cut out for him. That's assuming he's coming back next year. I would assume that he is. You know, Jared Reinsdorf doesn't fire people or let people get fired all that quick. You know what I mean? Like, so I expect him to definitely be back next year, and he's probably got kind of got free money to play with at this point. Now he has absolutely no pitching, so
Hmm.
probably not a lot of is expected of him at this point. Just try to hold things
Hmm.
together through the end of the year, and I'm just gonna sit and watch this thing burn to the ground for the for the rest of the summer. I'm still gonna tune in because I'm still hoping. I still have guys on the team that I root for,
Hmm.
and I like to see them do well. So, but that's about it. That's all I got,
Well,
really.
you sound sad too.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to keep a positive outlook about the about the farm system because that's all I got. Is our farm system is we got something in the pipe coming up. Um, you know, there's not a lot to be happy about or have a lot of faith in at this
Hmm.
point as far as they're developing these players or Pedro Grifol's ability to put this thing together or Rick Hahn's ability to not keep sticking his head up his own ass.
Mm.
But that's it.
I
That's
don't know
it,
why
man.
this is hilarious.
I'm sorry. I'm glad there's something entertaining. My pain is entertaining at least.
Not really your pain, just this baseball season.
Yeah.
It's been rough. I'm sure I'll be mad in a couple of weeks. So
There's a good chance. But you at least have these couple of weeks
yeah,
if
that's
that
true. That's
if
true.
that helps. If that helps.
That's true.
Oh, and they're
Uh,
just getting pummeled by Texas
what's the
right now.
score?
It's still 9-0.
Oh, okay. Okay. I want to thank anyone who's paying attention to us tonight for staying with us through my now I'm having technical difficulties. So I appreciate I think I'm freezing or something's freezing because I'm just like having a lot of internet issues over here.
It's been it's all in the game. It's all a part of it's the White Sox. This is why this is happening. But anyway,
Mm.
football season is coming back. Training
Yeah.
camp started.
And now people love Justin.
Now people what?
Hold on. The media, Justin is here.
Oh yeah, he seems to be the media darling as of late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like what's going on, or like was there somebody in the training camp who's like really leaking all these good things, all this good information about him? There seems to be a lot of expectations on him this
Mm-hmm.
coming season. I mean, there is by the fans, by the
Mm-hmm.
organization, and now looking like nationally, there's some expectations on him. Um, Hopefully, we can take over this North thing and not give it back,
It's
as Pohl said.
that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
Uh,
I swear, if Jordan Love turns out to be the next Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, I'm just gonna quit. I cannot live
and you know that's
through.
a strong possibility.
It is a strong possibility. I think people are sleeping on him a bit.
Yeah, because it's the luck of a Bears fan, a Chicago fan, period.
Yes, it is that we be going through a third generation of dominant Green Bay quarterback. I mean, generation, like because
Yeah.
Favre was there forever and Aaron
Yep.
Rodgers was there forever. Like it wasn't like just 3 seasons of dominance. It was like a decade or
I mean,
more.
there were no lies told when Roger said he owned
He did not
Bears.
lie one bit. He was very accurate in that assessment.
He was.
He
People
was
got
very
mad, but he
accurate.
didn't lie.
He did not lie. He was right.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck
We'll
Aaron Rodgers.
see.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. So, we'll
So
see.
what's your prediction on the that's gone. Another 2-run home run. It is now 11-0.
Hey, they don't have a mercy rule.
Right there, like in Little League, they really should.
Especially when you're
Especially
out
for a
of it.
team. Yeah, especially for a team like the Sox who's out of it. It's like, can we just go home?
That needs to be in the new rule book.
Seriously.
My prediction for the Cubs. It's there for them to take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be optimistic and say they'll make the playoffs.
All right. So they will. You think
Yeah.
they'll win the National League? I mean the Central or Wild Card, or just either or?
Division. They're 3 out of the wild card, but I think there's 3 ahead of them or something like that. The division.
All right. What did you grade? What did you grade the Cubs on this trade deadline?
It's a B. They got 2 of the things they needed
Yeah.
without giving up much.
Yeah.
So a B.
I'm going to give the Sox I'm going to give them an A minus, honestly. They
Yeah.
replenished the farm system.
Yeah.
It's sad. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing is like it's sad because it's like the band is finally kind of breaking up,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
but as far as what they did at the trade deadline, they made some really good moves and they
Mhm.
set themselves up for probably 2025.
Yeah. Because you also had to build up your farm system for future trades to get those missing
Yep.
pieces.
Yep. Yep. To get those late season acquisitions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So not only can you bring up some of your own, but you have some desirable pieces to get what you need at the trade deadline to put you over the top. Did you hear me?
Yep,
Or
I
did it
did.
freeze? Okay. I
Nope.
thought
I
it
did hear
froze.
you. I was looking something up.
Okay. Because also when you freeze, you're like usually making the ugliest face ever.
At one point I thought you were asleep, but you were just froze for a second.
I don't know why it freezes at the worst possible moments.
It always does.
Ah. Mm, mm. What are you looking up?
I was trying to look up what Baltimore did because they were in hot
I did
pursuit
get,
of they were in
I
hot
did
pursuit of Dylan Cease.
I
And
forgot who they got. Mm, I wrote it down, but I didn't
I
bring my
feel
piece
like
of
they
paper.
got somebody from St. Louis, I think. They got a
Mm,
pitcher from St. Louis, I want to say, now that I think about it.
mm. Was it Hicks? Oh, was it Montgomery? I wrote it down. I didn't bring the piece of paper in with me. I don't dare look it up on my phone. I'll freeze again.
Well, Lucas Giolito's been getting rocked
Ah,
the first two starts.
you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
How has
he has played some tough teams, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
How did Lance Lynn do in his first?
got
I don't think he did that well either,
he
right?
didn't do well. I want to say he gave up maybe 3 runs, pitched maybe 5 innings, gave up 3 runs.
Mm,
I mean, they just
mm.
continue to do what they do.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So when you
Mm.
see that, there's less to be sad about.
Right.
When you see like,
And the
well,
moves were right. Yeah, they made the right moves.
yeah,
Them moves that had to be done. Jack
Jack
Flaherty. Okay.
Flaherty,
I knew it
that's who
was a
Baltimore
J.
got.
Yeah. I remember saying it was something with the J. Thank you.
Thank you again, Deb.
Stats and research. I had to put you in the credits at the end of the show.
Yeah, for real. We put you on our imaginary payroll.
Pay you with our admiration.
And it's funny, like the Guardians uh traded Ahmed Rosario. I mean, they didn't do very well with the trade deadline, but they're still probably going to win the division because it's just so terrible.
And the Twins didn't do anything.
Twins did nothing.
Mm-mm.
The Twins did nothing. Oh
They don't.
no. Come on, Deb. I know Group M ain't holding you down.
So you're saying you don't need any more admiration? You got a bank account full of that. That was a good one, Deb.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, here's the thing. It is now 9:05. We're an hour past our start time, even though we started late. And I think that's about it, Kristen.
I think you're right, Emilio.
Yeah. A downtrodden evening for baseball. Still 11-0.
This show seems so sad.
Yeah. I didn't feel this sad until I started really talking about everything. You know, it's like you experience some bad trauma and then you block it out, and then all of a sudden it hits you at once. And the next thing you know, you're throwing a punch bowl onto the floor, glass punch bowl, and yelling, damn, damn, damn.
Florida. You know, between baseball and technology, it's been rough.
Yeah. It's been a rough one. Well, thank you all to everybody who hung in there with us through our technical difficulties, hung in there with us while I was all pissy and sad about the White Sox. So I'm going to get on quietly, creep onto this Cubs bandwagon and hope for some playoff baseball in Chicago, because I want nothing more than to have some baseball during the playoff time in Chicago.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Let us hope. All right. Well, with that being said, you've been watching Plunked. This is the show where we celebrate two teams, or like 1.5 teams, in one glorious city, Chicago. We will be back on Sunday.
You sure now?
I'm not sure. We'll be back like we left something when we be back.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you all.
And laughing at Emilio's sorrow.
Thank you all.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.